Hey guys, George Diamondyard Sports Cards coming at you with another video. Like I had said in my last video, thank you for watching my recap, by the way, if you did. I appreciate it. I have an SGC submission reveal. Truth be told on this one, it took a lot longer than I thought. I sent it off in late October, October 26th. They received it in early November, and it took about a little bit over 2 months. And that's fine because, you know, I get the cards back quicker than I do with PSA. But I will go over my anticipated grades. These are low-grade vintage cards. Two awesome reholders, one of a Babe Ruth and one of a Joe DiMaggio. Low grade, but nice cards. And then a couple Shoheis. So it was a mix, low-grade vintage, and then reholders, and then Shohei Ohtani's. But anyway, wanted to show you guys some of these cards. And so here we go. Hope everybody's week's going well. There's the Duke. I'm gonna put a few things in the background here. If I can get this camera straightened up a little bit. This is a cool thing that I had in my collection I came across, and it was the Jimmy Fund Ted Williams. Ted just wanted to talk about Ted Williams and the Jimmy Fund a little bit. Jimmy Fund was for cancer research, developed created in 1948. Ted Williams gets kind of a bad rap, but he was a lifelong supporter of the Jimmy Fund and he and the Red Sox led to them raising millions and millions of dollars for cancer research. This was a tag that they would give away. It's from either the late 40s or early 50s. Children's Cancer Research Jimmy Fund. Same pictures on your 76 all-time greats. Tops photo. This may actually have been given away in the late 50s. But anyway, so Ted Williams was part of this. It was nicknamed for a boy named Jimmy. It was his nickname, and he wanted to buy a TV to watch baseball on. And he had pediatric cancer. But anyway, figured I'd show you that. I thought that was really cool. Ted Williams, the thumper. Another card just to show you here. MLB Icons Jackie Robinson, 2004 playoff prime cuts on 42. Nice blue piece of material there. And it says in the back here, piece of jacket cut from an authentic jacket, personally worn by Jackie Robinson in an official Major League game, 50 of 50. So I thought that was just kind of a cool item. Let's put that over here. So we have our SGC reveal here. SGC has been under fire lately, you know, because they were bought by PSA and the service times have gone down. Or I should say increased, not gone down. But they're still grading cards, and they're still doing, I feel like, a good job. Frankly, they're a little bit harsher than I've had them be in the past. And so on this submission, I'll go through what I thought the card would get, but it seems like they were at the bottom of my expectations on nearly every card that was vintage. And on the modern cards, they did very nicely for me. So anyway, SGC, though, continues to be, in my opinion, at this point, a reliable option, and I am submitting to them when I can. So here we go. This was a Jackie Robinson. It was a 1954, and I had it kind of between the 2 and 3 range. It's got some really nice color, but it just is off left to right. But, you know, real nice copy. Just feel like, you know, 2 is about the lowest they could have given me on this one in my mind. Thought maybe 2.5 would be more fair, but everybody wants higher grades. This one was a card I've submitted before. It's a really nice 54 Bowman Mantle. Frankly, it looks more like a 5. And in the past, I had been in different holders. The last time they gave a 2 to me on this card, I just snapped it and I said, hey, let's see what they do this time. And it got a 2. I mean, it is a blazer for a 2. My understanding from what I've looked at is that there's a baby, not wrinkle, but bend in the top of the card, and that's what gives it a 2. But I mean, it's just a stunner. And again, I feel like that's about the lowest they could have given me on this is a 2. But it's still beautiful. Looks very nice. This was a 52 Yogi, and this Yogi was a real nice Yogi, but it had issues. You can see there's a baby wrinkle here. And it's rounded corners, but the centering, the eye appeal in this card's fantastic. And I was figuring 2 or 3, and they gave me a 2. But again, really good eye appeal on this Yogi, and just think it's a really nice looking card. And I mean, you know, I can't necessarily complain about this, but it's just, you know, kind of at the bottom of the range. 56 Yogi. Nice card, gray back. Thinking 2 or 3 on this one. There's wrinkles on it, and that's what they gave me, a 2. Because there's a wrinkle right here. And it seems like at least regarding wrinkles with SGC, they are really knocking cards down if they have wrinkles of any type. The eye appeal, I don't feel like we're getting quite the benefit from the eye appeal that we used to in the lower grades with SGC. That's just my opinion. They tend to be becoming more technical on does it have a wrinkle or not, regardless of eye appeal. You know, part of me believes in the past, this is a 2.5, this is a 2.5, that's a 2.5, that's a 2.5 or a 3, in my experience with them in the past. This card is pretty miscut. It's a nice looking mantle, but it is miscut. Obviously, they don't have any qualifiers, but you know, most mantles you need to submit, and it got a 2. So again, you know, it's to me, the card itself looks more like a 4.5 technically, but the eye appeal they dinged me on this one, kind of the opposite of what I just said, but the eye appeal, they knocked it down to a 2. This card was a 1 all day, 64 mantle. It looks nice, but it was just a well-loved card. There's creases in it, as you can see, but the centering was good, the color was nice, and again, it's a mantle. 59 Mays. This card had major issues. Still a nice Willie Mays card. It had some writing on it, and it got a 2. I was thinking 2, 2.5, little pencil there. But the colors are good. There's not really any fading. I'm trying to, I was trying to grade cards that have good eye appeal, not just grade them to grade them, frankly. Sandy Koufax, 64. This was about what I thought on this one. It's a little bit faded out, but still nice. A 4.5 on the 64 Sandy. That was pretty good, in my opinion. This Mays had some issues, but had some good color. 60 Mays, and it got a 3. Nice. Centering's pretty good on this. Color is really vibrant, not any fading. There's a little print mark right there. But, a 3, again, probably the lower end of what they could have given me on that. This Hank Aaron, these two especially, this Hank Aaron has a baby wrinkle on it. But otherwise, it looks more like a 6. And they gave it a 3.5. A really good centering on it. There's a little baby wrinkle there. I keep saying that word, but these are not giant wrinkles. They're small, and the centering on this card is outstanding. The corners look really good, but it got a 3.5. Koufax, 59. Really beautiful Koufax, but again, suffering from the same issues as this order suffered from, which is wrinkling. There's a wrinkle here, small, and there. But the centering on this card is pretty darn good, and it is a nice looking card. I mean, like, it looks like a 6. But anyway, 59 Koufax, nice looking 3. Shoheis, they did me right on these. They didn't do me right on this one. These are just base Shoheis. So, you kind of have to get them graded at this point, with spring training coming and how popular he is. Here's one, for example. PSA and SGC. Okay, they gave me 10s on the 3 remaining Shoheis. That's great. This is a 2018 update, USA 1. This one is a rookie debut, 10. And it's funny how PSA 10s and SGC 10s are not, they're somewhat close, but SGCs go for a little bit less. But the gem rates on the SGCs are lower. Here's another SGC and a 10. This is the 700 base flagship rookie. So on this one, on a PSA 10, the gem rate's 48.8%, and on the SGC, it's 44.8%. So it's essentially 4 points lower for an SGC, so 4% harder on SGC 10 to get this card in a 10. Yet the card goes for less money. But anyway, so they were pretty good on the Shoheis. Got 3 10s out of 4. That's good. Last cards, these are really cool cards. These were Reholders. This is a Jolton Joe, 48 leaf, and this one has a 3. It was reholdered. And I mean, it does have rounded corners, but there's no wrinkles. The eye appeal on the card is good. The centering is off. This was an old flip, but a nice card. Really good, beautiful color on this Joe D. And the last one is a Ruth, and this is a beat up Ruth, but it's still a Ruth. This is the 181, the green one. Got it reholdered. You got to, do the best you can with any Babe Ruth you got. Again, well-loved George Herman Ruth here, and really like this card. It just is, it's just, well loved. So guys, thank you so much for watching this reveal. These were the cards that I got graded by SGC. Thanks for watching, and keep collecting.